In June of 2007, my family and I flew from Ole, Pennsylvania to Seattle, Washington to explore the surrounding national parks. Our flight gave us some awesome views of the sky and the earth. It was incredible. We could see the islands below, and we even got to see Mount Olympus and Mount St. Helens in the background. We got to see mountain ranges that were covered with snow in the middle of summer. Once in Seattle, we attended my cousin's wedding, but shortly after began our adventures. We left the Seattle coast by ferry boat to visit a neighboring island. The skyline was pretty amazing. Also, we found out that the Space Needle is not actually the tallest building in Seattle anymore. Back on the mainland, we traveled to Cascade National Park. The mountains were so large, we were actually above a layer of clouds at some points. The views were incredible. I've never seen so many mountains. Most of the days we spent hiking and driving to different parts of the park. And these are my lovely parents, Barb and John. After the Cascades, we moved on to Olympic National Park. We hiked through forests with the biggest trees I have ever seen. My brother, Chris, was in awe, while my dad was thoroughly impressed. Meanwhile, my mom was just being herself. She's pretty funny. Next, we hit the Pacific coast and checked out the surrounding town, which was really quite cute and offered great views. There had to have been at least 100 sailboats on the water that day. After that, we drove for what felt like eternity into Montana. We ended up at Glacier National Park. Once again, we hiked through dense forests. My mom wanted to turn around when I showed her the grizzly bear warning. The trails led to awesome views of the mountains and lakes. My 10-year-old self was not a big fan of hiking. In fact, I remember asking my mom if she could carry me up the mountains. She said no. But the views were totally worth walking that far. It was awesome. Traveling through the parks, we frequently encountered animals. We could even see bears in the distance. Last on our list was Yellowstone National Park. Our timing was perfect since we got to see Old Faithful erupt. There were a bunch of other geysers in the park as well. At that age, I didn't actually know what geysers were. I just thought that they looked like colorful pools I wanted to swim in. They smelled like rotten eggs, and they were on the upwards of 200 degrees Fahrenheit, so it wouldn't have been a cool pool. We found some bison crossing the road at one point. They didn't pay any attention to us. Continuing on, we stopped at other locations of geysers. The steam created would form massive clouds nearly covering the walkways. All in all, this was an awesome adventure that I got to experience with my whole family.